Hi everyone, this is HBI2K, revisiting my Berserker Bridge days for a little audio commentary type thing. Let's take a look. So this was my first episode. The first thing I wanted to do was, do the obligatory shout out to LittleKuriboh, because, let's face it, anybody who'd seen LittleKuriboh's stuff would know who I was ripping off, so I might as well just acknowledge it right from the beginning to kind of take all the ammo away from my critics. You'll notice in this first episode there's a lot more silence. I really wish I'd used a lot more sound effects and a lot more music and just had my dialogue take place a little close together. There are a lot of awkward pauses, which I think at the time I thought it would sound more natural that way, but in retrospect, maybe it is more natural, but unless you're intentionally doing an awkward silence for humor purposes, it's best to just keep things, quick and snappy. This first episode sucks donkey balls. I'm embarrassed to go back and watch it again now. A little Tenacious D there. But, I guess this just, goes to show you, any of you who are thinking of doing an abridged series yourselves, just stick with it. You will get better, even if your first episode sucks ass. And, this is my opening, which I made just, as minimalist and simple as I possibly could, because I couldn't edit for crap at that point. But I always meant to go back and make an actual opening for the series, but then I was just lazy and didn't. I also had this idea back then that you needed to change a lot about the plot, pardon me, in order to make it work, which explains, the whole SCA thing back there, and this whole thing being an acid trip instead of, an actual demonic visitation. But as I progressed more and more into Berserk, I really realized that it has such a strong story that I can just stick with that, and I don't have to change things all around to make it funny. It can be funny on its own. Now this bit between Phil and the Minister, I think is probably the bit that holds up the best out of the whole episode. I think I had a lot of fun with those two characters and just totally reversing their relationship from this, horrible, intimidating thing and the Minister being very servile to more of a friendly thing. I think that's something that I continued to do more and more as the show continued. I love to just take these, melodramatic situations and just render them as mundane as possible, to make them kind of relatable to the audience, if that makes any sense. That and the whole bit about the solid gold suit of armor, I do still like. Just that kind of observational humor, poking some hopefully subtle fun at some of the silly inconsistencies of the show. Yeah, it doesn't protect you for crap and it's heavy as hell.
So I sold my soul and became a horrible demon just so I could have the strength to wear it.
Those were good times.
So, killings?
It's been pointed out to me that those two voices sound a lot like Dr. Girlfriend and the Monarch from Venture Brothers, which I don't know if I was intentionally trying to do an impression at the time, but I suppose I can see the resemblance. The animation budget joke there, which comes back a couple times. That line I'm so embarrassed about. I make a joke about him being a filler monster, which he's totally not. He was in the manga. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I hadn't read the manga in quite a while at that point, so oops, my bad. I kind of became even more of a super Berserk otaku than I was at the beginning, just during the process of going through making Berserk Abridged. So that's a mistake that I would never make now, but oh well, oops, sorry. I tried to set up these running jokes about Guts being a Zack cosplayer and the whole demon diet pills thing, which I would just kind of forget about for 5 or 10 episodes at a time before going, oh crap, I've got to bring those back. Well, that's about it. I don't know if anybody's enjoyed this at all, but it was a fun way to kill 5 minutes, so if people like this, I may be persuaded to do more. We'll see.